Okay. So today the worst performer is Doge. Um, Amazing move, isn't it? Like so far, and reacted from this orange, which is awesome. It right now it's under. It was under BTC's influence. Yesterday it was bouncing nicely, but it went down with BTC as other coins also. Let me actually show you. Let me show you lower time scale, 4 hour. Okay, this is a nice looking 4 hour candle at this moment. Okay, um, and it's making progress as you could see. I measured this low and this was a support. Anyway, the key support is much lower. And if I zoom out, then you understand that in a larger scheme, where it moved so much, this drop is nothing. Okay, that's nothing. However, if this would have broken down, then probably then I would have paid more attention. But this is not, personally speaking, this doesn't affect me much being a trader. Anyway, so this level is a support level. This is yesterday's level actually. Yeah, this is yesterday's level, and it has retested that level. If I drill down further, you would see a clear channel, a descending channel, very clean channel here. It hit this channel at the bottom, and now it's rising. What it means is we want this upper line to be broken for it to come out of this. So what it means is it requires 0.336, right? And once this is broken above, this consolidation or this setup actually could push price. So I added R9 yesterday because I don't think it is going to stop somewhere here. R8. So you may easily ignore R7. R8 is important, should not be ignored. But I think this is for R9. Doge is heading for R9. So somebody was asking me, one of the members were asking me about, I mean, you have to pay attention on my words. I'm not going to tell you this is good for buy, and I cannot do because we are not into consulting, right? But if you pay attention to my tone and my words, you would know what I'm trying to mean, I could do. So,
Yes, I'm loud and clear.
so this is a lovely 4 hour candle, 2 hour for now, but the 4 hour is shaping up and looks awesome. In simple words, this is opportunity. Okay, so I think this is the worst performer, so I wanted to just take this one. Now I'll start with the best one and then go in a descent, in a sequence quickly, and then feel free to ask any question once I go through all. Okay, so let's zoom out. Zoom out on 3D. Nano came out. So I think I mentioned in last call, remember that Nano is looking good. It was here, and I said this could break out. So sometime breakout could be as amazing as this. Sometime it is more reluctant and hit R5. So that is totally beyond anyone's, I would say, visibility. What we could do is what is the level we are supposed to track. So yesterday I mentioned, in fact, in each and every call I mentioned, and in this call also, you're going to note it that certain levels to be tracked, and that's where you will keep your alert and decide whatever, I mean, whatever you think. I mean, if you want to switch or change or reduce or add, you can take decision. But I will highlight the key levels. So it has hit R6, and at the lower time scale, it's trying hard to break above. Here you don't see it, but we saw on a lower time scale that there were 2, 3 attempts. So now the recent high has to be considered for the next level. I'm going to provide you R7, but your alert will be just above the recent high. Okay, that's how it works. MANA hit R4. So there's no surprise here, right? That's the beauty of this resistance. These blue lines are so simple because my chart has nothing fancy. But these blue lines are magical in a way that it offers you planning, visibility, right? So you would know if mana is moving up, how would you know where it will stop if you don't have this? But when you have R4, you're not surprised why it reacted. And as I always mention, this crypto price action is full of technicals. Okay, I mean there's nothing else in my experience. If you know the technicals, you don't need to know anything. If the focus is trading, if the focus is knowledge, focus is knowing project progress, coins, so on, then you can read. But my experience is if the focus is making money and trading, you don't need to know any coin. Absolutely no requirement. uh, IOST trying hard to break above. So it got bounce, nice bounce, and reacted again. So this could consolidate and eventually break above. So looking good. Neo is, I think it reacted. Maybe this blue is not as accurate as I probably wanted, but never, never mind. It's not a problem. So this is on run. I'll give you R9, and this kind of behavior will let me refine R9 or our next resistance. And I mean, this is a reality that sometime you have to retune it based on what you see, because my goal is accuracy, right? So that's why I try to give as accurate as possible, as and when possible. DOT is good move. It woke up, it pulled back, but this is a good sign, and I welcome it. So we can expect it to continue moving on the upside. All that I'm saying is the precondition is BTC, remember. Okay. The precondition is the BTC levels that I just talked about. Okay. With that, if that level is maintained, the BTC level is maintained, then all that I'm saying is true. So it has to be like that because there is a dependency at this moment. Anyway, so ICX is heading up, heading for R7, looking good. GI, this is taking time, but looking good. Um, as I mentioned, this is a bit disappointing, because it had an amazing breakout, came down, but it's not crashing. And probably I'll remove this coin once it reaches certain height because my goal is to keep coin which are less volatile. Percentage is important, but I try to balance percentage with volatility. And fast moving coins are not volatile coin in my definition. Fast moving coin doesn't mean they're volatile. Volatility, it simply means that up and down movement in a frequent manner, like this kind of movement. This is volatility. Right? If a coin moving up day by day, on the upside, like what we saw for BNB few days ago, even for Doge is not volatile at all. It is following all technicals. It is not doing something weird, from technical levels point of view or behavior point of view. It has very good pattern. But some coins do not follow, and I try to keep them away. This coin is looking amazing on a weekly scale. Only thing is, it was not able to continue. That's why I will disqualify this coin from our active list because Active coin list requires good performance from coin, right? I mean, it's like taking admission to good good college. So the coin has to do well for coin to be part of opportunity active list. I see that way. Yeah, it's an attitude, but that's how it is. It's an attitude. But coin has to do well for to be. So in my screening, I want relatively good coins in terms of percentage and stability. I would not add anything just because it's pumping. That is for your own benefit actually. I have no problem in adding something, but then if you're getting stopped out or you know it's not consistent enough. So I try not to take those coins. Yeah. This is a good sign. Let's see how it does. KAVA, Kawa. So I think this is good. Still under consolidation. Cake hit the support 2-3 times. It's range bound, but looking good to me. Now I think we can expect it to continue moving on the upside towards R2. Looking good to me. SKL I mentioned last night in call that it's looking good, and I think we can expect it to come out of this consolidation and hit this R2, and then of course higher level. But the good news is it's coming out of this sideway move. Still, in a bigger scheme, this whole entire thing is consolidation. But if we just focus in this segment, then it's coming out. Then this is outer layer. So this is inner, this is outer. Algo can break out anytime soon. See, you are noting my words, right? You have to note my words, and we are recording, so you can review it again. This is how I will address. I mean, describe, not address, but describe. So algo could break out anytime soon. It's consolidating right below R7, looking awesome. XRP is back in action, not in a big bang, but it should be. I think it's coming out of consolidation, and I see a sign of move on the upside. We have R4 ready, so XRP is getting ready for action. BTC, I just BZRX hit R7 during this, so it's holding up pretty well. This coin is volatile coin, noted, and but it's making progress. What to say? LTC has been amazing. Has been has been amazing. So it doesn't care about at this moment. I mean, if the BTC drops significantly, it would. But the point is that it's showing the resilience and the showing the moment BTC is BTC stops dropping, it just starts moving up. And I think I mentioned in earlier call that LTC is likely to accelerate from this level and speed up. So looking awesome. 1 inch is trying hard. I never assume looking good, but it happened with Alpha, some other coin. It has to break above. Seeing is believing in this case, unless and until it breaks above this orange band. This is still under consolidation. SRM consolidating near R5. CRV has hit R6 now, near R7, sorry, R8, and still good. BNB, I think BNB is done with correction. So this low is likely to be the bottom, and you can expect slow consolidation and move on the upside. So looking good. HNT is also consolidating here. You can expect it to create a U kind of a structure. Next few days it should go up. But this is sign of bottom. Atom could break out anytime soon. It is consolidating just below R6, which is positive. ONT is on way, so it's on its way to next level. When a coin is near its top, there's nothing much to say. It means simply good. This is positive. Only thing it's boring because it's moving sideways. But this is positive. EGLD. XTZ is very close to R7. It didn't drop much, so I'll give you R8 soon. So it's on move. GRT is taking its time. It's just trapped between R9 and this green level. If you look at it, just trapped. And I think the consolidation may even go further for a few days. Looking at this move, that is possible. Anyway, so unless and until it breaks above R9, we gotta wait. TRX is on move. Last night I mentioned it's looking good. It had hit this target resistance, broke above, came back, but immediately recovering and heading up. Is the H bar is moving sideways. This has to be ignored, in my opinion, until it breaks above 0.444 something. 444. This has to be ignored totally. XLM is on move. XLM and XRP sibling. They, if you overlap, their wave is identical. FIL is shaping up nicely. It's still under consolidation. It could break out anytime soon and hit R16 in a quick manner. Looking good. Uni is fine, consolidating on top. ADA is fine, consolidating near R10, R12. Not a problem. Little bit of pullback, not a problem. Zen is awesome, consistent. It's moving up, heading for R9, sorry, R8. So it's making progress. ETH had hit resistance earlier. This one, now this one, and it's holding up pretty well. And I think I don't have the next one. I'll share the next one. So this is okay. And I think LTC, BTC, they are going to move in the same way uh, in terms of behavior. Only thing is they would differ in terms of percentage move. So BTC in last quarter, last year, like Q4 2020, it made significant progress. ETH also made significant progress, but BTC started earlier, then ETH started little late in terms of momentum, and then ETH did really well and nearly caught BTC in terms of life cycle of a wave. Um, we had a chatter call yesterday, so sometime randomly I'm opening chatter call, but and we are chit chatting, not TA stuff, but the whole purpose of chatter call is just knowing each other. But if there was a topic related to some chart, some occasionally I would open. So yesterday we gone through BTC, ETH, and LTC comparison, three charts. So in that case, so ETH right now is it's more like more aligned with BTC in terms of percentage gain, where LTC is now picking up pace. So you see the difference. So LTC was not in good in terms of percentage compared to BTC and ETH, but now it's different. So uh, LTC is changing gear. So that's why now LTC makes more sense. And sometimes you have to observe this trend over time. Right now it's showing sign, and eventually if it could do for next few days, then it could become a trend. Yeah. So when you observe something different, we cannot say this is a change in trend. It could be beginning of a trend, and sometime it could be just for a day or two. Anything that you see, anything changes, you have to observe for a few days to make sure it's a trend. It's not just one-off behavior, 1 day, 2 day behavior. LTC broke out nicely and making progress, heading for R7. XVG was added, pulled back. I think this pullback is just today. It was moving nicely above green level, so can't help much. This is volatile coin, so be careful. You, it requires more wiggle room. Um, Sushi is boring, and I would say just ignore it. Um, there's nothing much to say about it. It's just moving sideways. So unless and until it breaks above this R13, there's nothing much to talk about. AVAX is fine. Again, it has to break above 13. 40 is good level, I believe 40, and that should do well. But at this moment, it can still it's moving sideways. Um, BCH is amazing. It's also uh, getting, I mean, there's more. Look at the momentum. So it's speeding up, but it's not going to do different in terms of direction. Okay. So it's going to move faster like LTC, looking at its behavior. But if BTC is not going to improve, if you look at it, it's again dipping at this moment. It was above 61K, but it again, wow. See, algo broke out just during the call. I mentioned when I was going through, so you never know. It's breaking out. It happened during the call. So the you saw the use of alert. I was not watching algo, but my alert brought me to this chart. Now this is good thing it happened during the call. Why? Because of course I don't have money, but the point is if I have money, I have a choice to make. Okay, so it's breaking above, and when you're alerted, you're going to open a chart and you're going to spend time like I'm spending time. It's not that you are alerted, you jump in and you feel as if you're going to miss this pump. No, never feel that. Okay, that's my learning. Never feel it is breaking above. You're alerted. You open the chart the way I opened it. Give some time. Give some time. Observe it. Okay, you're not missing any bus. Sometime it breaks above, comes back, and sometime in worst case it just moves sideways even if it breaks above this level. Okay, because sometimes it could be a zone, and sometimes if you look at it, could be slow transition like that. Slow, not necessarily a huge candle like that. So it might keep moving like in the way it's moving. So it's making progress without actually a big buzz, right? This is progress, not in a big way, not in terms of huge candle, but this is huge progress actually speaking. If you look at this one, right? So my point is, anyway, so spend some time and then refer approach B. Approach B. would help a lot. And then it explains how you may plan. Again, that's from my past experience, and that would help, I believe. So this is good. As you can see, it's not that, not each and every breakout is like quick move. Okay, where were we? We were on BCH. All right. Yeah, so there's a nice move, but it reacted near R11. Nothing surprising. REN is coming out slowly, but it's volatile. Is also be careful with this coin. This is a volatile coin. Sometimes I feel I should remove this coin. Anyway, I'll see. Utem is making progress, looking nice. IOTA has hit R8. So I'll give you R9. I mentioned in last yesterday's call that this one. Band is okay. It's still taking time, and it's also right now range bound, but making progress. Um, so this is broken above. I think it's just following this if you look at this is the one. So what happened is this is the most boring pattern I observe, where what happened is when it creates this kind of pattern, it could create another loop like this and hit it again. This is boring pattern, super boring pattern in my experience. But I mean that's how it is. So this rejection is from this, is this line. It simply means that we should get clarity only after R8, if you ask me, because here again it's under consolidation zone. It was like this was a bigger consolidation zone, this was a smaller, and now this is smaller, even smaller. But that's how it is moving. Okay, EOS is looking good. We tested this one heading up 4% down because of BTC. Okay, but it's good. Matic is okay, as you could see. Tested out. It's okay. Waves is fine. It's volatile coin recently. It's just consolidating. OMG is also consolidating after hitting the resistance. Sometimes you just have to forget about the coin. Once it hits the resistance, don't try to time it. It's not in your hand. Nobody's hand. Best way is to set an alert and forget about it. Also, it's good for health. That kind of practice is really healthy. Like you saw, Algo was looking good, but my alert did job. I would not track Algo. Algo, my alert should be telling me, and it should be like that. This is like in our software architecture, those who are in software designing and development, this is like an event driven architecture. Okay, where you write API which is synchronous, and when you have queues, it's more event. You drop a message on queue and then you get notification, and that's how the process triggers. So based on a message, it starts the process rather than polling. So the polling versus event driven. So those who are in software industries, mm, I just try to give an analogy from that different point of view, different between polling and event driven architecture. Okay. So Zilika is heading up. I tweeted few days ago that it's a rising wedge from a pattern point of view, but this crypto is funny. Rising wedge in traditional, if you read books, they say they usually break down, but in crypto it doesn't. Not always. In fact, it it is not even a guaranteed one. I mean, there is no, you cannot be for sure. As but if you read book, they say rising wedge means it is breakdown. And that's why I tweeted that this is rising wedge, but it will break up.
Ahim, can we
Amrita,
see
and
oh,
I'm
sorry.
not done.
Oh,
Can you
sorry,
give
sorry.
me some time? We just only 3 points. And this Wi-Fi is fine if you look at it. It's consolidating here all-time high. It made all-time high briefly. That's all right. I mean, I don't see any risk here. Data is all right. It's showing some volatility. The pullback is little deeper than I would consolidating nicely at 13. Looks okay. KCS. I think KCS has bottom. I think on Monday, I mentioned yesterday. So it could spend some time, but this is a potential bottom, and it could take some time, but this is a potential bottom. So it had a good move, huge move actually, and now you can expect it to just move sideways and more like in ascending manner, reaches here and then should make another leg on the upside. So maybe something like this. Of course, not exact each and every turn, but just trying to illustrate how it might be something like this. So it's going to take time, but it's consolidating. Okay, so we saw our Doge at the beginning, so good. Only thing is going back to BTC, we covered in detail before in this analysis. We should keep an eye on this guy because this rejection was not good. However, this is well under safer range. This situation must improve, and I have to emphasize this one. So forget about your coin. They may go up and down, but this is the most important, and we have levels. Okay, so I'm going to turn off my recording, record everything.